Media announcement. March 2021, a striking headline lands on the aviation site HushKit. A concept fighter appears in bold letters, F-36 Kingsnake. What makes this aircraft so special? According to the concept brief, the F-36 is envisioned to replace much of the F-16 fleet by the early 2030s, prioritizing development speed and affordability. The real hook? A large portion of components produced via additive manufacturing, 3D printing, to compress schedules and cut costs. Today, we explore every angle of the F-36 Kingsnake, what sets it apart, and the advanced yet pragmatic philosophy behind it. The origins of the F-22 and F-35. June 9, 1982, Operation Mole Cricket 19 erupts over the Bekaa Valley. Flying F-15s and F-16s, the Israeli Air Force claims sweeping success, over 80 Syrian aircraft downed and 29 surface-to-air missile batteries destroyed, with no Israeli fighters lost in air-to-air combat that day. The reputations of the F-15 and F-16 surge worldwide, and for the U.S. Air Force, the value of air superiority fighters is unmistakable. Washington pushes beyond the Viper and the Eagle with the Advanced Tactical Fighter program. September 7, 1997, the F-22 completes its first flight from Dobbins Air Reserve Base, Marietta, Georgia. Flight tests are strong, optimism runs high. The plan? The Raptor replaces the F-15 as the new air dominance backbone. But costs and quantities intrude. Procurement ultimately settles at 187 operational Raptors, 195 including test aircraft, not the many hundreds once envisioned. By 2005, the Raptor is operational, yet sustainment and program costs remain high relative to legacy fighters. Performance is world-class, so the jet becomes the tip of the spear, not a one-for-one F-15 replacement. Next comes the Joint Strike Path, the F-35. December 15, 2006, the F-35A's first flight in Fort Worth, Texas. August 2, 2016, the U.S. Air Force declares F-35A initial operational capability. Even so, unit price and sustainment slow any idea of rapidly replacing every Viper in the inventory. The workhorse gap. In 2016, the Air Force examines a lean, fast, affordable path, what HushKit dubs a fifth-generation minus fighter. Keep it practical. We need a pickup truck, not a supercar. Field something simple, useful, and numerous, while Raptors and Lightnings handle the hardest missions. A clean sheet fighter normally takes about 20 years, so the concept leans on existing tech, aggressive 3D printing, and scope discipline to compress timelines. Name: F-36 Kingsnake. It's a notional proposal, not a program of record. Wing planform. Think F-15 XL cranked aero wing. More internal volume for fuel, lower wave drag at speed, strong high-lift vortices without canards. That big wing promises better stability at high speed and low altitude, and room for more external stores. Engines considered. F-110GE 129 for commonality, F-135 for raw power, or a simplified Pratt & Whitney F-119, the Raptor's engine, if production could be restarted. With an F-119 path, the target top speed sits around Mach 2, and restarting that line could even aid Raptor sustainment. Agility and mission. The large wing seeks quick nose authority and solid energy maneuverability, but the concept emphasizes beyond visual range combat over prolonged dogfighting. To keep price in check, stealth is de-emphasized relative to the F-22 and F-35. External stores are expected and acceptable. Hardpoints and payload. The F-15XL baseline demonstrated vast capacity, many stations, heavy loads, and Kingsnake borrows that spirit. Big wing, lots of pylons. Sensors. An AN and AP, G83 Sabre, AESA radar, and an infrared search and track based on Legion Pod with IRST-21, enabling passive detection and even passive triangulation when networked across aircraft. Could such a configuration become the Air Force's new backbone? What is power? By 2021, the Kingsnake idea crystallizes in public as fast to field and cost-effective, not a stealth maximalist. Every major component should already be in service or off the shelf to cut risk. You get a hybrid, an F-16 XL-style wing, an F-22 Heritage engine if feasible, and modern yet proven sensors like AP-83 and IRST-21 in the Legion pod. Additive manufacturing is pushed hard to save time and money. Core principle, cost effectiveness. Replace aged Vipers while Raptors and Lightnings tackle the toughest missions. So the F-36 is not pitched as the most advanced jet, rather a mid-tier transitional workhorse. That choice reduces R&D and shortens development, in theory. Leaning on existing designs and lightly modified modern tech promises clear economic benefits. Analysts frame it as potentially landing in half the cost of an F-35 territory if things go right, with about 80% of what you need for many missions. Real numbers, of course, would depend on scope, quantity, and industry decisions. Despite simplifications, avionics stay modern to deliver credible combat effectiveness. Weapons, one internal gun plus a wide mix of air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles. The exact menu to be determined. And, while not stealth-centric, the aircraft could still be hard to track, especially when fighting passively with IRST and data link triangulation, tactics already demonstrated in U.S. tests. Reality check. The United States is already pursuing sixth-generation efforts. If those mature in the early to mid-2030s, a mid-tier 5- fighter risks arriving late. Label aside, Kingsnake is framed as practical, not pristine stealth. And while the idea helps imagine an F-16 successor, official program details remain scarce. This is a public concept, not an announced acquisition. Has a jet like this actually begun development? As of the public articles, it is conceptual, a proposal to spark debate. Debate and outlook. Will the U.S. Air Force pursue an affordable workhorse like Kingsnake or skip ahead to sixth generation and accept fewer, pricier jets in the meantime? Consider the operational math: cost, sustainment, and readiness. A fighter that is not too expensive, rugged in service, and fielded in numbers. That's the pitch. The cranked arrow wing, think F-16 XL, boosts fuel and payload. AP-83 brings a modern AESA. Legion pod with IRST-21 enables silent hunting. An F-119 class power plant would deliver thrust and growth, all off-the-shelf or derivative pieces. Challenges remain: industrial capacity, budget priority, and the pace of airborne threats. If fielded, a Kingsnake-like jet must prove two things: value at scale and day-to-day readiness across real tasking. In a world of network-centric warfare, a fighter doesn't have to be perfect, but it must be present. Conclusion: F-36 Kingsnake, a pragmatic, cost-effective idea aimed at replacing aging F-16s with something fast to build and good enough to win most fights that matter. The building blocks are known quantities: a big wing, modern sensors, proven engines, and additive manufacturing to cut time and cost. The debate is healthy: ultimate performance versus ubiquitous, affordable capability. Which wins? Tell us what you think. Is a Generation 5- workhorse the right bridge to the future, or should we go all in on 6th generation now? See you in the next video.